Wow.
It's that easy, bro.
How much does something like this set you back?
Pretty neat. Custom order.
Yeah.
Like $4,000 or so. Just like that, bro.
¿Qué pasó, amigos? Welcome back to channel John's Moto Garage. As always, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to do a walk around of the 2011 Harley Davidson Road King Classic that I had not too long ago. This was a bike I found on Craigslist, so I'm going to go into how much I paid for the bike and then also how much I sold the bike for, so make sure you watch till the very end. And I'll also discuss I'll go over the interesting learning experience as well that I had with this bike and kind of what would you do scenario, because things didn't pan out exactly as exactly how I was hoping they would, but it was a good learning experience. Alright, you guys, stay tuned. Let's jump to the Road King walk around.
Today we're going to do a walk around cold start, well, a startup on the 2011 Harley Davidson Road King Classic. Obviously this bike is not your stock setup. We'll go into that in a minute. But it is a 103 cubic inch. In 2011, the Road King Classic is a 103. The Road King Custom, I believe, was just a 96. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure that was the case. I'm a big fan of the Road Kings. I think this is like your quintessential motorcycle. If you were to look up motorcycle in the dictionary, this is what I expect you would see a picture of. Beautiful bike, just a classic, shiny, clean black. You got the white walls. People aren't a big fan of the spoked wheels just because they're not as pragmatic when it comes to, you know, cruising and touring. You can't do plugs on it. You got the tubes. I think you can convert to tubeless. Honestly don't know if this one is. These come stock with a hard leather saddlebag. This one's got some aftermarket hard bags, kind of street glide, road glide, ultra classic look-alike. But these ones come extended over the dual exhaust. The street glides and road glides have this with the brake lights integrated into it. This one doesn't have the brake lights, but it's got that kind of that look and feel. And this just comes down to personal taste. Personally, I actually dig the stock look more, but it's all just personal preference, really. You got the passenger backrest, a 2-up seat, lush 2-up seat, super comfortable. Floorboards, heel toe shifter. These things are totally decked out. Of course, you got the windshield. This one's got aftermarket Ape Hangers. I think Avon grips. I love Avon grips. There you go. The Road Kings also have the cruise control, electronic, which is pretty dope. And this one, let's see how many miles we're dealing with here. 12,876 miles. So, doesn't have that many miles. We'll go ahead and start her up. It's stock exhaust and it actually sounds really good. There you have it. You've got the highway lights up front, and a cool feature on this one, I think they all have it, I'm not 100% sure. So this toggle switch here is for the highway lights, and then this toggle switch here will turn this on. So you got your USB as well as that piece there. The Ape Hangers, although not a huge fan of how they look, they actually do make this bike a whole lot more comfortable in my opinion, because typically on this bike, at least for my height at 5'8", you kind of sit over the bike with those classic beach cruiser bars, whereas these allow you to kind of sit more in the bike as if you're chilling in a lazy boy. So I think they'd be more comfortable. I haven't done any long cruises though, so I can't speak to that. Alright, so the big question, how much did I pay for the bike? We'll do the big reveal. So the guy had a list on Craigslist and he had it listed for $8,000, and he didn't have the best pictures. So when I saw it with the aftermarket bags, they looked kind of shady or sketchy in the pictures. And with the Ape Hangers, I initially almost didn't even consider it. Also, I didn't know in 2011 that they had a 103 on these bikes. I thought they didn't start putting the 103 on them until 2012. So I did a little bit of research though. I realized everything checked out on the bike. I offered the guy $7,300. He countered at $75, and so I ended up paying $7,500 cash for the bike. It's got 12,800 miles, clean title, of course, and beautiful condition. He bought it pre-owned from a local Harley dealer, and he only put maybe 2,000-3,000 miles on the motorcycle. I think 85 is trade-in, and 11 or 12 at the time of this filming is going to be your retail. So beautiful bike, a lot of room for profit if I decide to sell it, which I probably will, just because this isn't really in my wheelhouse for my current riding preferences. But
all right, beautiful bike, the 2011 Road King Classic. So I'm going to try to keep this very brief. Here's what happened. I posted the bike for $10,500. I thought I was standing to make a pretty solid profit, and really the value was there for sure. I had a guy come and he was very close to buying it for $10,500. Ended up going for another bike that fit his style a little bit more. Well, about a week and a half into having that bike sitting in my garage, I noticed a little drop of oil, and I traced it back to where the clutch cable goes into the right side transmission case. And it wasn't gushing oil, it was clean, but it was a tiny bit of oil. So here's the big question: what would you guys do in this scenario? And I'm stealing this more or less from, I think it's Flying Wheels. He has a car dealership and he does stuff like this. Anyway, so the question: what would you do? Would you just wipe up the oil and act like nothing's there, because odds are the next buyer's not going to notice it on his inspection? Or do you get it fixed, or do you just be honest about it and upfront? Well, I chose to just be honest and upfront about it. So what I did is I updated my ad. I dropped the price down to $8,500. I basically explained exactly what I told you guys. I'm being transparent about the known condition of the motorcycle. Now, I did end up going and tightening the clutch cable about a week later. I tightened it up when I had the time, and it seemed to have resolved the little leak, because it was just where the cable goes in the transmission case. But at that point, I'd already dropped the price, and I just updated in the ad that I think the leak's resolved, but buyer beware, it was leaking a little bit. I ended up having a dude come look at the bike, and he haggled me down to $7,950, I think. But at that point, I was just ready to get the bike out of here. I hate dealing with these things, so I took it, $7,950. I went from thinking I was gonna make 3,000 bucks on the bike to obviously making a lot less, but no complaints here. Lesson learned. I should have been a little more thorough and diligent with my inspection process. I probably could have spotted that myself. But at the end of the day, a net win. That guy got a smoking deal. I still made some money on the bike, and it was a good learning experience. As always, thanks for checking out the channel, John's Moto Garage. If you dig the content, be sure to like and subscribe. Adios.